Call the Wright County Drainage Board meeting to order. We have 3 present and 2 on WebEx, so we have enough for a quorum. Everybody have a chance to review the minutes?
I've read them online, so I need to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 27th.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Kenny on WebEx.
Bardsley, aye on WebEx.
Any against? 3 present in the room, 4, 2 WebEx, Kate's and Bardsley. So motion carried. Jim, you want to do the claims?
Yeah. Chronicle Tribune, $40.68 on the, I always get this wrong. Eckelbarger
Eckelbarger.
and Zirkle. There's 40,636 in the fund. Grant County Treasurer, $30.60. This is from General Drain Improvement Fund to maintenance alone. It's not much of a loan, but it's covering something. That's
Anybody
all.
have any questions?
I make a motion to approve the claims.
Second. I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the claims as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye via
Bardsley,
WebEx. Bardsley.
Kate's on WebEx.
Ask him if I should use his stamp.
Should you use your stamp on the minutes, Kenny?
Yes,
Mark?
yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Claims have moved as presented. Nothing on old business. New business. Kenny Chase and
Yeah.
The
Davis
Davis Moorhead.
Moorhead, Kenneth Chance at 4533 South Meridian. He's got a drainage dispute with Titan Automotive regarding fill. And I've kind of explained it to the drainage board members, and we've looked at the maps. Mr. Chance isn't here today. I invited him to the meeting. We were going to hear from him first. I've talked to the owner of the garage, Titan Motors, and told him about the dispute. And they went over and picked up a little bit of their stone and started putting it back, you know. The map shows that Davis Moorhead's 515 feet away. And in 84, the Titan was down for a little bit, and the 2 houses north were down, and somehow they were took off, and we don't know why. We couldn't find why. So today, you know, you guys can go run by there or look
Nope.
at it on Google.
we
And
don't have a complaint yet. He's not here.
Yeah,
well, go ahead and read your stuff about it. And the way I understand it, all we can do is just hear it out, have a public hearing with both sides, hear it out, and then you guys vote on how you feel is the problem is, and then they can use that as evidence to go to court. I don't think we have any authority to actually do anything. But, you know, we haven't talked to Kyle, and we haven't done one of these.
Okay. Okay, so we'll take this under review and
I would be
Wait
interested
on
to
him.
know that, I mean, did he need a permit from area plan or something to?
I'll
do-
find out, because Katie went out there.
And if so, were there any contours? I'm sure there weren't, but was there any what were the contours before? What are they after?
Right. Well, he's got a little pile of dirt behind there, so, you know, I think he shaved off the grass or whatever that was growing up through the old gravel base.
Yeah.
But it elevated it a little bit, just a little
is
bit.
that him?
Yeah.
No, this is Chad.
Oh, okay.
So I think we table this and.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll
I'll
just
try
take it
to
under
work on it.
review.
Okay.
Are you ready, Chad? We're ready for you.
Sure.
You're right on time.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, what I did was I went out, I have kind of the proposal on what we did. I looked at everything that was given to me.
Can we get him to speak up a little more?
Okay, sorry. Went ahead, looked at all of the jobs, that we had, evaluated them, and.
Yeah. they're
Yeah.
good.
There's
Better
no
go with Mike so they
microphone
can-
where you're at. We're moving him, Kenny, so you can hear him.
Yeah. I thought.
And if you need to sit down, you can sit
Okay,
down.
that's,
on one of
no,
the
I just
chairs.
drove, so we're good. No, what I did
Matter of fact,
was.
You can have my mic if you want.
I went ahead and looked at all the ditches that was given to me. Some of them we've been on a good rotation, they're looking pretty good, but I kind of thought, let's just do a snapshot, let's get a price on everything, then we can work backwards. I have good notes from last year, because last year I proposed that we rotate some out, but it's kind of the same thing, you guys want to be aggressive, and the weeds and the brush always grow, so I wasn't opposed. And if I spray them, it's not like I'm not doing anything. I'm putting down a preventative weed control. So we keep the thistle and the teasel and all those invasives out. I just blanket coat everything. So it's not like you're not getting something. So what I did, because of that, being that we've done several of these year after year, I just went through and literally deducted a cent per foot. So if there's anything you can say that is cheaper this year than it was last year, anywhere, let me know. But that's what I did, just because I've been there, I'm familiar with them. I feel like there should be some sort of discount. It's not significant, but it's something. I can say it's a cent, so
To start.
it's $52 a mile, but it didn't go up $52 a mile. So there you go. So that's kind of where we're at. These numbers, and at the top of this is actually dated last year. We just used the template, and then there's several new ones you guys have cleared or ground that we definitely don't want to skip this year. So I'll just give you this. I got one copy, and it's just thrown together. So I want to think, maybe that's not the one.
Chad, when you go back in there by the sewer plant, last year you pulled up there and there was 2 hog gates there. Don't pay attention to them, just open them and go in there and spray that easement down through there.
Okay, what was the name of that ditch? Do you know? Taylor Creek.
Creek.
Okay, yes.
But it's right there at
Yes.
the sewer
They're
plant.
just one shed, so you can unwire them, take them out of the way. But
Okay.
that's the access. I think that was the problem.
Yep.
They didn't know how to get into that
Yep.
area.
Yep, and
Spray south.
that's been documented. Raymond had a spot that was on there. So I have that will go in and you won't be charged for that footage to spray it this year. So,
But there could be some brush growing up in the easement. And
yep,
if we get it now, we can get it stopped.
You kind of got just a little bit.
didn't burn it back as much.
Make sure it's got all the ones
You've got a concrete bridge there, it's got a good base, but it's a little at the ankle, maybe he was afraid of that before they got it rid of.
Yep.
Here before. But, if you call me a day ahead of time, let me know, I'll have this gate open and another gate here, so you don't have to pull the gates and I'm not going to force put up.
Awesome,
So you just
awesome.
pull in.
And that's closed tile through there?
Huh?
Is that closed tile through there?
No, it's an open ditch.
Okay,
Bridge is right here. For some reason, yeah, the bridge is right here.
okay,
It's a good concrete bridge with beams. It's narrow, but
yeah.
I've had logging trucks back
Oh,
across. it,
yeah, yeah. Yep,
And the other part done pretty good, this part.
Yep.
There's a few weeds grow, but the teasel's really bad right here,
Yep.
so we could hit that.
yep. And that will be one that's, we've already got the footage figured out on that one where we missed. It happens. I got more and more guys out there, and guys have been with me 10, 15 years. They kind of know where to push it, but some of the newer guys, I just tell them, hey, I can't put the leaves back on the tree. And so if it gets to be a sensitive area, and I'm telling you, the state chemists, people are calling, and I've not seen it this bad in 30 years. So,
My property don't need any of the trees sprayed, because I got a few little trees on the ditch itself, but they're not in the way.
it's more just
Eventually, I'll
weeds.
cut them down.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I will apologize for not doing as much because I've done that before, but I don't like talking to the state chemist and
Yeah.
then the call's in. So if you're not getting any calls, I'm doing something right. But if there's little areas we skip, we'll take care of it too, but it's, you guys know, everybody's fuse is about this long right now, and it's unfortunate, but it's what we gotta deal with.
This is just a map of the ditches on his list.
Okay.
You guys want one of these, or?
As long as Raymond has one.
As long as you have it.
I've got multiple if you guys want.
I know on Little Creek, there's a house there. When we dredged it,
And then the list.
I can't
there's-
think who did it, and they said, well, we're supposed to cut it. I said, yeah, cut to the top of the bank. You know, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But I see it's not getting killed spray, and I understand two crimes.
As soon as there's a house, we'll keep one side open, and literally I have the same thing with a very nice housing addition over in Bowling Green, Ohio. He promised the landowners to do it, but my guys get up and go, my gosh, that house is worth more than 4 of our tractors, and, you know, you just like air to caution first.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I promised them I was gonna I said, no problem, I'll bring in a small machine and we'll run that other side and get it. I would rather have it look nice, because when it's all said and done, once you've cleared it and spent the expense, the landowners really want it to look nice.
Yeah, I want to keep it nice.
So I have the same thing through downtown. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. And then I talk to the people and they're like, no, get rid of that poison ivy and those thorn trees. So
Yep.
they know the positive. It's just, there's that one person in that row of houses though that does
That you
not.
make mad.
Yes, exactly.
We've
So,
met that person many times.
yes,
Yeah.
every county has them, more than one, unfortunately.
I
but-
suppose if it gets too bad, we'll have to go in and recut it again.
Yeah, but,
mean,
but, you know, the expense of doing that, you know, we're looking at under a quarter. And you guys know what it costs to clear. How many times can I spray for a quarter or 30 cents? So that's how I've built the business, and that's, you know, you guys are doing a very good job, kind of getting late into the game, but the ditches now are looking really good, and the more you get, the better we are. So,
Now, the Huntington County surveyor called me about, because you do Weasel Creek,
yes,
and we collect the money here and pay out, so I told him that's no problem. Put Weasel Creek on your list. And I went to one landowner in Grant County when we first started spraying, and I couldn't ever get anybody on the phone. I wrote them a letter, but right after our job, they planted willow trees right on the ditch bank, little sprouts about this big,
oh, yeah,
ever so often.
yeah.
They never responded, but, you know, you can't spray that without spraying those willow trees.
Pretty tough, and then
Well,
you
she
know.
never asked to put them, and they're right
Yeah.
at the top of the ditch bank. And
Unless she had a ribbon around them, my guys will go after willows with a vengeance. With a vengeance. I will too.
Originally, they were kind of marked, so she didn't mow right along them because they were just right at the top of the ditch bank.
Yeah.
Nobody answered the letter, and nobody answered the door, so.
I think drought stress took them out. I think, if we went through there.
Yep.
But, you know, it's one of those things too, information and everything else, you know, if sometimes random pine trees just pop up and you don't, we're 15 feet off the ground looking down and we still can miss them, you know, but if they don't call in or they didn't get a variance to put it on there, I kind of got 75 feet and I'll use it if I need to, you know, usually anything, I tell them 30 feet off so you could swing a stick excavator, get stuff around. That would be the least you can have.
Like on my property, you're gonna be out about to the edge of the 75 feet, maybe a little more, but then where it goes into trees, there's logs and stuff back in there that I haven't got out yet, so, you know, you just do what you can
Yeah,
drop.
yeah.
Jim, down there on the sewer plant, if we can get it over on the sewer plant side, it's not a problem. When they get down to Holloway's house, we want to pull away from there. And if you remember right, that half a mile road at Herbst that goes east and curves around, that needler down there, either last year or year before last, got to raising heck with him, okay?
Uh-huh.
And when you get past Needler's house and so forth, that brush there on Sheffield's is growing up awful strong.
Yeah, it needs cut.
Huh?
It needs cut.
Yes, yes. But what I'm saying is, Mark can say, I don't know if we call needlers and tell them we're coming through spraying this spring or what?
Which ditch?
Do you
That's a
remember
Sim-
the problem?
Yeah, it's a Sims
Yeah, he was-
I don't know Mr. Needler though.
He was very upset with the ditch spraying, and he was saying that it was killing some of the fish in the creek, and so
You want to miss him this year?
It needs to be
I think-
sprayed.
I think we inform him of it coming coming his way, just to give him a heads up.
Yeah, do you notify these people on the ditch?
We did, but we haven't recently,
Yeah, originally we did.
and they're growing too. So,
Do you want to give him a heads up where that property's at?
he was shaking his head like he knew.
I think one of the guys talked about that, but we can mark it on the map. What ditch is it?
Sims Franklin.
It's Sims Franklin.
And do you want us
Right
to send a
there,
notice?
right there, Herbs, if, at the north end of Herbs, there's a T road that goes east and it goes down, curves around. And Needler's where it curves around, first or second house. First guy, he don't care. I'm not sure which.
Do we need to send them a letter telling them we've been
Probably.
requested to spray it? So they know?
Yes.
Needler, yeah.
Okay, make note of that, Raymond.
I can't tell you what his first name is.
We'll send Needler a request, a
A
notice
notice.
That we're gonna do what?
John Needler.
Or no?
that we're gonna spray it.
Yeah, I think you're
Been
right.
requested to spray it. Just so he knows. Then if he wants to come to the board and try
Complain.
and nix it, he can. The board will vote on it.
We'll let him spray it him. If he don't want it, we're gonna spray it. Needs sprayed.
Yep, I don't have a problem going through if they've been notified and they had a chance to reach out. With all of the growing problems out there, I am in the front line and things can escalate or get dangerous really quick.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. And notification helps me a lot. So they know that they're coming, and then they could call in, and that it's not uncommon, even in a county like Huntington that's been doing stuff for 20 years, there is certain areas that are just not worth the headache. If we got to call the police to drive through and spray, maybe we're going to have to figure something out. Because, realistically, you can say, if you're refusing to have this maintained, which I'm doing routine maintenance, you're going to be responsible to keep it clean. And nobody's going to walk up and down there and cut trees. But when it comes time to grind it, that bill gets sent to them.
Yeah.
And
Raymond?
I
could
don't
give-
remember any others other than Needler.
But Raymond could give Mary a list and she could prepare a list and send everybody a notice that it's gonna be sprayed. If we need to do that.
Most people aren't gonna have a problem with it.
nope.
Most of them's happy to get it sprayed.
Yeah.
So Needler's been the only one that's complained. We need to notify them.
We have the ones down on Harper, but,
We're not spraying them this time.
right.
Well, he caught the guy out there or something and gave him a bunch of static.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody bothers you, tell them call Drainage Board Secretary Mary here. She'll take care of them
And then I'll hit extension
and
3315.
send it back to me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's at. Notices are just good. You guys are, we've been on these several years. I think for the most part, I got people stopping me wanting to do private jobs. So that's when you know you're doing a good job.
Right.
And sometimes I can do them, sometimes I can't. But overall, the people that are paying a lot of assessments are really liking the program. I think you guys are doing a great job. And we can just keep our head down and keep chipping away at it.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
I was asking by a farmer, how do you deal with cattails in the bottom? Is there anything you can do to?
That is a total different application.
On the Keaton ditch, the outlet has cattails growing up in a big time,
Yes.
and wondering what you,
I can control them. There is products out there that now we're in water, so you have to be aquatic approved rather than ditch bank approved. But Phragmites is another thing that grows up, looks like ornamental grass that's very, very invasive. And then sometimes there's purple Phragmites out there, or purple loosestrife. So there's a program that I put together for other counties. I call it purple loosestrife, because we're getting,
You could identify that and the landowners want it, so he could add that to it, couldn't he? You get it to him.
it ends up being a fall application, just so
Okay.
you know. I want to wait, that's the best time to get those, and it's actually when I'm catching my breath for the first time in about August.
Okay.
Mid to late August, and as long as we don't have a dry season, we want those cattails to be up and going so we can get most of the canopy. It's not a cure-all, but it's a lot better than it was 10 years ago. I got some new chemicals out there that are aquatic approved.
They dry up enough to eventually float downstream.
They kind of just disappear, but the
Okay.
problem is getting root uptake, because you can burn the leaves, it's all that mat underneath, because they grow like a tuber. And this stuff has root uptake, so when it goes down, it takes them out. So it's hard on grass. It'll kill grass. So you got to just target the bottom. I
Yeah,
can't
'cause
put it
it's
in my
gotta be-
tank when I'm doing brush, I'll kill all the
The Harper's
grass.
got good grass on it, so
Yep,
they just want the
you,
bottom.
it's got to be a nice day, not real windy, and you turn the pressure down and shoot right at the bottom.
Put that on your list for fall.
Okay, okay.
Raymond will get you stuff.
Yep, and then we come down, just depends on whether we're here with the bigger machine or not, but we do the same thing in Huntington. We do cattails there, it's a separate application, so it's roughly about the same price. I mean, I can split hairs and do this and that, but it's kind of like, well, if there's anything in the channel, see, we even spray grass that's in the bottom. Sometimes you get a grass bed in there that's not really plugging it like cattails, but sometimes it's restricting flow. So if it's a low-lying area, there might be cattails from here to that next road that you don't know about, and if we're driving along, we'll get anything. So you kind of just say, do this mile, rather than this 400 feet. Well, that's not really worth my time to do 400 feet. So you just kind of put it in a broader scope, and I'll do what I can through that section. So that's kind of where it's at. I mean, I think everything's going good. I don't know where budget constraints are, but if there's something that needs to be trimmed, it could be. But I have probably 20 counties or 30 counties that I do that this is what we spray, and I do it every year, and everybody's happy. So.
And we're trying to get on that program.
Yeah, and you're moving faster than some of the other counties I've had before, like, I like working with you guys hand in hand, and I really do feel that notices going out do help. They help me out, or my guys out at the ground level.
Well,
And then-
our customers understand that they got to raise the rates to afford to do all this.
Yep,
so
and if they're
doing
seeing
it.
results, if I'm doing my job correctly, they're gonna see it, and then you maybe not, get a compliment. You never do, you're at a thankless position, but that's what happens. You're using.
Yep.
So, any other questions or anything?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Doing a good job.
So he's a go ahead on the prices that he give us?
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. I'll make copies of this. Unless you want to change the date.
Clay had to text. My secretary wasn't in this morning, I was scrambling around, we had to pull my nephew out, that's why I was late. We were trying to find out how Word works and retype a quote. Yeah, I have the wrong date on the top.
You got a question, Gordon?
Are you going to do Grassy Fork, Little Creek, and Little Deer? I have a question mark, and I didn't know.
I went through all of them, and like I said, I just feel that if I'm using that milestone and putting a blanket coat down, that can hold your Canadian thistle out for a whole year. There's nothing, it's just a phenomenal product. Of course, it's,
I'm on those ditches, and I want them sprayed.
okay, well,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
make a
saying. It
decision.
can look great right now, but what this does is preventative.
Yeah.
And so I've had to work in that direction because I have several counties that there's just nothing on it. I said, you can rotate this out. They're like, no. The farmers
it
spray
clean.
their bean fields 4 times a year.
Yep.
There's no reason to let anything come back. At least these are gonna be good. And so,
He He got a price for everything green on that list, Gordon. On that
Okay.
paper that I gave you.
Okay.
Okay, well,
He gave a price for everyone that's green.
Yep, and pretty much
Okay.
because there's been repeat, that's where I just said, you know, let's just drop a cent. It's somewhat of a discount. It's not an increase. And we'll keep going.
I'm gonna make my dishes, I want.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Is Mr. Turner?
Okay, Raymond, you got anything else?
I've got Big Black Creek with Harold Turner. You want to talk to him first, Harold? Are you awake?
I'm awake. I do want to say, spraying the open ditches been really good. I spray my own, you know, and I never send a bill in. My ditches are clean, no brush or anything. But I don't know if you're the one that did over my area or not, but
At one time I have.
it, over towards the Van Buren area.
Yeah, we got a lot to do over the week. We got a lot of doings over there.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But anyway, we got a problem over on Black Creek. I had Raymond come out and look. We got a couple hundred acres,
They're looking at that.
okay. Right here,
Yeah, you can talk to them, but
okay.
It goes into that old pit. That's.
It goes in the pit, that's where we got a problem. It goes basically on the south side of an old gravel pit. And everything above the green is what I own on both sides of the ditch. And that, my ditch is clean. We get over here where the pits are, it goes through the pit, the south side of that pit. And every time we get a big rain, and the creeks fill up, it fills the pit. Well, when they go down, it just keeps bringing more soot down and out of the pit in the ditch. And plus, well, we got two pretty good sized blockage from trees. And then we got, a lot of soot that's filled in, you know, the water's going around like this and everything. But it's been several years since Black Creek. I don't know how many years it's been. Since, huh?
Reconstruction.
Yeah, it was several years ago. See, it starts clear up in Blackford County, goes through Grant County, and then down through Huntington County.
There's a good maintenance fund on it. We have a lot of money in the fund.
But I put in.
Did John Enyart go with you on your walk
I think Raymond took him there
later?
just the other day, I
Okay.
believe.
I met once and walked with Harold down it, and then I met with John, and John and I drove and walked and looked at it. Originally, I had to talk to John about where it comes out of the pit. There's about 2 foot of fall or close to it. I didn't shoot it. By looking at the ripples though, it's about 2 foot of fall. I was trying to get John in there to just open that part up to give their tile some relief that's upstream. John has been able to get with John's Repair out of Gas City, and John's Repair is willing to do the chainsaw work. That's who we got the estimate from, I gave you gentlemen, to cut the brush, and John pulled the brush. John Repairs is Andy.
Andy Rick.
Andy's estimate is varying because he's not sure he can even stand on the bank to cut some of the trees because it's basically up and down. He's not sure if they're going to have to get in the excavator bucket and cut them or what for sure. But originally I thought John was going to go ahead and just open the spot, but I told him at that time he could do it by the hour. John's always give us good prices on everything, and bids have always been competitive, if not always the lowest when he bids on them. And then John's Repair, Andy Rickner, he actually beat John last year for one on Sweeter Improvement. So, I mean, the two good priced contractors. I think John's will probably dig it for $2 to $4 a foot, but there's quite a bit in spots, and it definitely requires a long reach excavator.
Yeah, definitely.
But we put in a 12-inch outlet 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's above water, it's underwater now.
Now,
They've got that.
and it's back at the back,
Uh,
it's to the east.
yeah, it's to the east, probably, there's 72 acres on, well, I think you can see the tile,
Yeah, I see that one wet area coming in.
but we got a real low hole, it's not muck, but it's kind of in between muck, and I mean, it's several acres there, and we used to have, and after we put that 12-inch tile in, we haven't had a bit of problem, and I don't want to get to that problem again. But, yeah, all through that pit, it just, like I say, it's been several years. It's grown up, and, you know, anytime we do anything, you know, I keep my side sprayed. I don't turn a bill in, I drive my ditches every year and spray them. But, you know, since they dredged that Doyle ditch, 2-3 years ago, and we put it on maintenance, and I told everybody, I said, if there's a problem, I said, let's keep it fixed, keep it sprayed. In fact, I spray some on my neighbors. I just spray, because I don't want to see it growed up.
And Doyle Ferguson's on his spray program now.
Yes, and you did a nice job last year. I thought you did a really good kill, what you done. But it is, like I say, through that pit, it is a problem because of the pit. And there's nothing you can do about it, basically, on the pit side. But it's on the east side, or the south side of the pit, and the other side, I mean, there's no access, and you're down in the pit and
There's
everything.
a lot of acres. See, this goes through the corner of Wells County, and then goes like a mile or 2 miles in Blackford County. So everybody benefits from getting this clean. A lot of people. There's 178,000 in the fund on Big Blackford.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. And then I talked to Harry Pearson.
That's just the chainsaw work.
Okay.
I talked to Harry,
Not Inyards.
and Inyard's getting one, right?
He was gonna do it, approaching it by the hour.
I said
Not
so-
knowing how much time it's gonna take on the brush, whether he's gotta hold the guys down in there or not.
I said something to Raymond if he wanted to cut, I mean, he,
Me?
he rejected my offer.
And Harry Pearson's made a request, he's gonna come in, he'd like it cleaned about at the county line, try to clean it at the county line again through his wet area, you know, so.
See, they cleaned that Blackford,
Yeah, I took that back
7-8 years ago.
whenever. we
yeah,
had
and then they
torrential
stopped there
rain.
at the county line where we'd be, you know, then it kinda comes through the,
I tried to get people on
Silent
board
us.
and nobody seemed like they were interested. I wanted to go farther. We went into that first property and he didn't even want us coming in on his property.
is that right?
The first one in Grant County.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Wonderful, wonderful individual.
Well, we own the other side of that ditch, and you come through us. I don't
Right.
care. But you know,
He's done.
it needs done. I mean, it's just, that pit's a problem. It needs to be, once we get it clean and keep it sprayed,
Keep it sprayed, it won't go.
then, you know, then we could, you know, keep it maintained.
So are we waiting on an estimate from Inyard or just gonna do it by the hour?
I'd say we go ahead and approve this brushing. And then let John come in later, and, you know, if he does it by the hour, it's gonna be fast with that long reach machine.
Yeah.
He won't be in there but a few days.
That was the reason for him coming in the meeting is expediency, so he can farm this year. 30 acres.
Yeah, we got some ground, we're not like Western America, we got holes.
Hey, so what's
And he
everybody-
can get on this fairly soon?
Yeah.
Okay.
John was talking like he could be in there this week or next.
Well,
week.
he brought the dozer in yesterday, the day before, you got the dozer sitting down there.
Might have needed to move it from where it was.
Well, yeah, I think his estimate, I went by a place the other day and I thought it was his, and everything was setting up by the road, and I figured he's ready to move somewhere, so. But I did see he got a dozer down there.
John's main, Squeak, his main operator is having health issues.
Yeah, he had a brain tumor, so he's the one that did all the ditches
Yeah.
for
That's why
years.
John couldn't give the estimate himself. But he had to
She's gotta be working.
try to figure out how to.
So what do we need? Approve this
Yep.
and make a motion, we approve the John's Repair Service on Big Black Creek, where
Yeah, big buck.
not to exceed $5,200.
And then in here, by the hour, the graduate.
Well,
Well, or do we wanna wait till he,
It's gonna be a good price. I just,
And Inyard to dredge it at a predetermined price.
And everything where he's gonna be is, there's some growth on one end, I mean, there won't be a problem, but there's like filler strips he can be on.
In between me and the landowner, we're gonna supervise him. He's gonna
Okay.
be in and out. He's not, it won't be drug out.
So what I need to add is a motion.
okay, so we have a motion to let John's Repair do the tree cutting not to exceed 5,200 and Inyards to clean the ditch by the hour.
Yeah. That's-
Gordon made the motion.
Yeah.
Do I have a second? Pat seconded. Any discussion, you guys? Any questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Gates on WebEx.
Hi, Bardsley on WebEx.
Okay.
Any opposed? Motion carried. 3 in-house, Capes on WebEx and Bardsley on WebEx. Motion carried. Peter Dan.
And yeah, I wanna appreciate the spraying.
It's good to hear that.
Saves me from doing it.
Good to hear that.
Not to exceed 52,
Anything else, Raymond?
Hollis Daughtery
but not to exceed 52.
had a request from, or a comment, or however you wanna say it, from Brad Atkins. He owns on the top end up here. In 2019, he got a trapper and took out the beaver, and then went in with his own backhoe and removed the dam. He has a quote from Morlock, Wildlife Control, I guess wildlife called,
Yeah.
for $700 to take care of the beaver for a whole year. And he'll said he'd go in there and remove the dam itself. So he is wanting us to send a letter to the people in the easement that he has the right to go back there to take out the dam, because one of the individuals is not being very nice. And
So we send out the landowner, or we send it out to that guy that's supposed to watch the property?
the guy that's supposed to watch it, send him a letter, and along with the farm field owner,
You'll prepare that?
yeah,
Thanks.
and then the person that owns Dollar Lake. There'd be 3 letters that would need to go out.
Okay.
Plenty of money in the fund?
Yes, there's 12,000 in the fund, pulls in 37,000 plus annually, should pull in 20,000 in the spring. We do have some other washes and brush to deal with, but that's just,
Need to do the beaver first.
Yeah.
Hollis Daughtery just got increased and has stuff to spend the money on, so. I'll have him mail, if it's good with you guys, I'll have him, we tried emailing the Morlock contract that he had, or the quote, and his email won't work to me, and mine won't work to him, so I'm not sure what, we got to mail it in or bring it in.
So what do we need a motion?
You make the motion, Pat?
Yeah, motion, we send the letters out. Do we need to approve the 700 or is that already been done?
Yeah. Approve the 700.
700. That's
Okay.
that's part of the motion.
Second.
It's been moved that we allow Brad Atkins to hire this company to control of beaver for a year for $700 and send letters to the landowners that will be giving him permission to do it. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any questions, guys? All in favor, say aye.
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 Kate's on the WebEx.
Bardsley, aye on WebEx.
Been approved. 3 in-house, Kate's on WebEx, Bardsley on WebEx to allow this. Anything else?
Yeah,
Well,
we got a problem at Swayze on Taylor Creek. 4 years ago, we had a guy from Monticello come down and clean out a ditch that goes through Nestor property. This property is on the south side of the Swayze Road, okay, 300. And none of the water on the south side now is running. We took and had the town go down there. They bought one of those cameras that goes through, and there's a couple of small plugs down through there. The guy from Monticello told me, he says, if you don't dump copper sulfate in there, those roots will be back. He said, I'll be back in 14 months. Well, it's been 4 years, but that's not the problem. They have a little building right next to our ditch. And Nestor's is in their mid to high 80s. And they're not really understand what's going on. And their boy, Mo, is kind of taking care of things for them. And I wanted to go in there and clean the trees out over that ditch. And she don't want it done because it blocks her off of seeing John Deere over there in the railroad track. But anyway, when Wendell was down there 4 years ago with that guy from Monticello, he put in a T right next to this. We run 24-inch plastic from a railroad out past the woods. It was Bell with O-rings on it, but they still got roots in it. But where the plastic quit is a 20 or 22-inch, probably 100-year-old tile. It broke down there. It's broke down there right now. So Chris Key fixed one back on me, and he'll be turning in a bill for it. I don't know how much, but I mean, anyway, it goes right next to the road, and 50 foot out in the field is this one. It's Taylor Creek. It goes underneath the railroad track, goes south over to the half-a-mile road over there, south of Swayze. I called Eric Bragg and told Eric to go down there and take a look at it because Becky went to school with what?
Yeah.
Dick Bragg, okay? And he was the one that put that plastic tile in. So that's halfway calms the war down. But anyway, we're going to have to dig, as soon as Dick gets a chance to dig that up and see what the problem is there. We know that there's a broken down tile from the plastic to the clay tile. When we get in there, we may have to go clear to the road. Now, there's money there in Taylor Creek if we need it. But we're not going to know. We're going to have to dig right through their yard. And it's kind of an ouchy situation, okay? But we're going to do the best we can. But I want you guys to be alert that once we get in there and see what's going on, If we got to dig up part of it or whatever. Trey couldn't get the camera past the broken down tile, so we don't know what we got. But once we dig that broken down tile up, you probably got, if you got one, you got three. We get in there, we'll run that camera towards the north and see if we got some more problems. If we do, we need to really take it across 300. Take the whole tile across 300. That's over on me, and then it's easy to fix there. But it's a deep tile. It's 6 foot to the top of it. Anybody got any questions?
Is that shed movable?
It's what?
Do you think the shed is movable, or is it one of them old ones that'll fall
No,
down?
it's immovable. You know,
You could hook to it and drag it out of the way a little bit.
they have to, okay? Just, you guys had a little rain or something up there in the last week or so, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
6/10, what I had.
But Eric said that he could come in there with a mini backhoe and dig this up, and that way we can get on top and see what the problem is.
Have you told the
Yeah.
son about it? Have you talked to the son?
Yes,
Is he okay with it? Knows somebody's coming in on the easement?
we'll have to call him. Have him down. He'll stand watch. Okay.
So you've got his number. Has Eric got his brag?
Oh yeah. Chris got it.
Okay.
Eric's got it, and so on and so forth. I got it. But
Well, I can be out there when Eric calls me.
okay, all right. But I'm just saying, I don't know. You know, you can't tell what you got till you get it dug up. But
Yeah.
it's broke
Right.
right where the plastic quit and went into the clay tile. You know, so
How much
I mean-
money we got on this? That's-
that
Oh,
drains.
there's 200,000 completely in that fund.
Yeah, we got money. Okay, but I mean,
Okay.
That's the open end tile. This is the Taylor tile, and it's all been included in the open
Well,
ditch.
yeah.
It's forever.
that goes over and drains John Deere, drains part of the south end of town. You got money from those people in Swayze, houses is paying into that.
$50 a home site, so
Yeah.
works as
And
a
then-
storm drain for
Then
that part of town.
it drains Phil Genis, goes across and drains Martins, and I'm not sure who all it drains on. It could drain DeVore's on the south side, south of that half-mile road. But I told them to get some dye and put in, and they did. And it showed up back at the creek, which one they was on, okay?
Yeah.
So, Chris Key and Eric is kind of on this thing, and it's just a matter of getting in there and see what problems we've got.
Yep,
When we
get her
find
dug
out
up
what
and see what's
problems
wrong.
we'll let you know.
There's 266,000, Kenny.
The what?
266,000.
Well, we're not
It's got a
gonna,
good fund. The only money, we went north of 100 North on the Beischer property and cleaned out the dead trees finally. Cook Excavating done that, so it's
We're not-
finally open north of 100 North.
It doesn't.
I'd say a wild figure on this probably is 20,000. If we end up going to the road, might be a skosh more, I don't know, you know. Let's let them get it dug up
Yep,
See what we
and
got.
see what we done.
see what's
But
there.
if we're gonna make a mess and tear their yard up, we might as well fix the thing right while we're
Yep.
there,
Yeah.
so we don't have to
Yeah, you got a
Do it again.
putting up with them, okay?
He's been done.
That's
What do you
all I
think?
got.
I think he's just letting us know.
Proceed, okay.
Anybody else have anything else? Raymond?
All I
I've got is some footages on Big Deer Creek, as far as where the brush is still at. Mark had talked about something about a grant to possibly take out the brush. So I come up with those figures and footages and guessed at a dollar amount. And that's all it is a guess, but it's an idea.
What's the guess looking like?
73, almost.
$74,000.
Almost 12,000 feet. I've got you a copy when you get back.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
And we definitely need to send out quotes, get some a spec letter and send it out quotes to contractors.
I've about got a mile and a half on me, and it's clear on me. Now, it's not on the other side because somebody else owns it. On my side, it's pretty well clear. Keep spraying it.
Okay. Anything else? How's your wife, Mark?
She's doing better. I don't know how much you guys knew, but as of a week ago Friday, we were just going in and they were going to look at the wound site. That's when they found that the aneurysm had actually expanded. And then last Monday, they actually, a week ago Monday, they had to go back in again and put 2 more coils and a stent in there. And she's pretty much, for 2 weeks, we're in the second week now, can't bend, push, pull, pick up, do anything except move back and forth to rest either in the bed or in the lazy boy. So she's pretty much grounded to rest until we get past the 2 weeks, and then we go back in another 2 weeks to the doctor, and in 2 months we do they'll go right back in and take pictures again of the wound site to see if what they've done is repaired it now.
Okay.
All our thoughts with you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thoughts with you.
Appreciate
Anybody
the prayer.
else have anything? Entertain motion.
Move to adjourn.
Been moved to adjourn, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye, via WebEx.
Gates WebEx.
Motion to adjourn, I was like, wham.
Pat motion, Gordon seconded. Motion carried. 3 in-house, 2 on WebEx, Gates and Bartlett. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Be
you.
careful.
Kenny, did you see my text?
Do what?
Did you see my text? I texted and say, I can call you a little after 2 if that's okay.
They're talking to each
Okay,
other.
okay, that'll be all right, just fine.
Okay, thank you.
When you get
now
done.
you can do it.
Thank you. Are we done?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jim,
Good, too.
you want that, don't you?